Sometimes when we feel God nudging us to do something big, something scary, our first instinct isn't excitement. It's fear. It's insecurity. It's excuses. You start hearing a voice in your head saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't speak well. I've made too many mistakes. If that's ever been you, let me introduce you to a man named Moses. Moses didn't grow up like a regular Hebrew boy. He was raised in a palace by Pharaoh's daughter while his own people were being enslaved and beaten outside. He lived with a dual identity, royalty in one eye, runaway in another. And then one day something snapped. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew man, and Moses couldn't take it anymore, so he stepped in and killed the Egyptian. Just like that, everything changed. Now he's not the palace prince, he's a murderer on the run, a fugitive hiding out in the wilderness. He spends the next 40 years tending sheep in the desert, far away from Egypt, far away from purpose, far away from everything he thought he might become. And that's where the story gets interesting. One day, Moses sees a bush on fire, but it's not burning up. He gets closer and boom, God speaks. And what does God say? Moses, I want you to go back to Egypt, back to Pharaoh, and I want you to lead my people out of slavery. Now let's pause for a second. Imagine being Moses in that moment. You failed, you fled, and now God is calling you to be the very thing you never imagined, a deliverer. Moses looks at God and says, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? In other words, God, I'm not qualified. And maybe that's where you are too. You've made mistakes, you've walked away from dreams, you feel unworthy, unprepared, unsure, but here's the truth. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Moses gave excuse after excuse. What if they don't believe me? I'm not a good speaker. Can't you send someone else? And you know what God kept saying? I will be with you. That's it. Not, you'll figure it out. Not, you're better than you think. Not even, you're smart enough. Just, I'll be with you. Because your power doesn't come from your perfection. It comes from his presence. And spoiler alert, Moses eventually goes back. Yes, he stutters. Yes, he doubts. But God uses him to bring down Pharaoh, split a sea in two, and lead an entire nation out of slavery. Why? Because he said yes, even with shaking hands. Let me tell you what that means for you. You don't have to have it all together. You don't need a perfect past. You don't need a flawless resume. You just need to believe that God still chooses broken people. People with a history, people with baggage, people with doubts and flaws and regrets. You. So whatever excuses you've been giving yourself, whatever voice keeps telling you you're not enough, it's time to let it go. Because when God calls you, he already knew what you weren't. And he still said, go. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for obedience. You're not disqualified. You're exactly who he wants to use.